Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Connery from Out of Work, and today I just want to pretty much just cap off the video from last week. Last week I introduced things that are going to be happening in 2021. I kind of went over all the plans, so to speak, and I think it was overwhelming response from those guys. A lot of people wanting to know kayaks, a lot of people want to know electronics, a lot of people want to know striper fishing. So I was thinking about it for a while on how to kind of attack that. So there's actually more people interested in the striper fishing than anything else. So by popular demand, we're going to cover that topic first. And this video won't do it. It'll be in the next series of videos. And what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna try to break it up best I can. We're gonna do a how to fish for stripers series of videos. So there might be like a 4 or 5 parter on that, and then we'll transition to bass because that's kind of what people want to see, and then we'll transition to electronics. And I think that would satisfy everybody. Okay, so for the guys that have no idea what striper fishing is, if you're from the bass boat world or if you're from the kayak world, those fish fight really, really strong. They're pound for pound, probably the best freshwater fish you can fish for. They taste good. I mean, it checks all the boxes, okay, except for the competition checkbox. Now, if you're vice versa, say you're from the striper world and you're just getting tired of stripers and you think you're a pretty good stick, get into the world of bass fishing. So we'll talk about bass fishing a little bit, and predominantly kayak fishing, kayak tournaments, and things like that. So we'll discuss that, how to properly rig stuff, things to do before you go to your first tournaments, a list of things you need to bring when you're on your kayak. I mean, another 4 or 5 part series on that, and then we'll dive into electronics. Electronics can be applied to everything in fishing, whether you have a $100 unit or a $2,000 unit or $2,000 units. It can be applied to both species, but at the same time, you have to know what you're looking for. A great example of that would be, okay, if you're chasing stripers, you really don't care if there's trees in the water or not. Typically, you don't. If you're looking for bass, you do. Um, that type of thing, and you have to see the differences between how a striper group, and typically it's going to be a group of fish, how they look like on the fish finder, on your electronics, and how they look like on side imaging, down imaging, and 2D sonar, things like that. For bass, it's typically not looking for groups like suspended, 25 foot off the bottom and 60 feet of water. That's not bass. They typically don't do that. Typically don't. 95% of times they don't. There's an exception, but other than that, they don't. So if you're looking for bass, you're looking for grass on the bottom. You're looking for rocks on the bottom. You're looking for trees, laydowns, brush piles, things like that. So that's a whole series we're going to cover. And I think once we get to that, we'll talk about other things because we're talking about, John boats versus kayaks and things like that too. And even talk about your vehicle, like a good vehicle, what kind of car, truck, if you are in the market for one, to kind of look towards if you are going to be more going into the outdoors. I came from a Honda Civic, but I had plenty of access to trucks, and I made my decision based off the requirements that I wanted and the future that I wanted to build with the truck. So things like that. So I just wanted to say definitely in the next couple of days, definitely be on the lookout for striper videos. Not really fishing type, but just a lot more educational type stuff. Because I feel like the striper, if I show you videos of striper fishing in my area, it doesn't always apply to you guys. We do a lot of freshwater stripers, whether it's in rivers or lakeside. Uh, we use surf rods and everything like that, but it doesn't apply to everybody based off my knowledge that I have here at Rivers. So what I want to do in the series, I want to just talk about, say, things to look for. Okay, so definitely things that can be applied to saltwater, freshwater, shallow water, deep water, everything like that. Top waters to throw, the bucktails you to throw, the big plugs that we like, kind of hooks you need to throw, line clips, line ties, line in general, rod reel, everything like that. So I want to get that going and build upon it because I feel like the rod and reel that I have can be applied to where you're at as well. I feel like the lines that we've gone through throughout the years, you can also buy and use and be very successful with it. There's a lot of money saving tips that we've gone along the ways. There's a lot of brands that we've tried that we like, a lot of brands that we've tried, and I feel like you should stay away from, things like that. So as of right now, we have no sponsorship, so we can tell you everything good and everything bad about the world that we live in, our world. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Let me know if you. So, like I said, we're starting off with stripers, then we're going to go to bass, and we're going to cover electronics and things like that. So, for the striper guys, what do you guys want to know? Like, I want to start off with an intro to stripers, right? Like, the very first part is just intro to stripers, what they look like, what they eat, where to look for them, maybe some behavioral patterns and like seasonal patterns. What do they do throughout the year? And then maybe in part two, we're going to talk about tackle, based on the size of the striper, the tackle you need to get, whether it's live bait or artificials, it doesn't matter. Kind of hooks do we use that work for us? Kind of rods, reels, lines, things like that. And then maybe part three and part four is just probably more advanced type stuff. So let me know if you guys have a specific question that needs to be answered, or if you're just curious as to what a striper is. So let me know on that. We're starting off with stripers. I'm thinking it's a four-parter. Basically everything I know about stripers. All right, guys. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you feel like you have friends that need to jump on the channel because all those new mind knowledge dumps is going to be happening in the next month or so, tag them on it, share it with them, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Like I said, it's going to be striper based, land based, boat based. Let me know. We'll cover both of them. Okay. All right, guys. See you guys on the next one. Once again, thanks for watching. This is Connery from Out of Work Outdoors. See ya.